1968. Racial equality, politics, and social justice converge on America and spills over into Indiana.
Martin Luther King was shot and was killed tonight in Memphis.
Presidential candidate Bobby Kennedy stuns a crowd of Hoosier supporters with news of Dr. King's assassination.
We have to make an effort to understand, to get beyond or go beyond these rather difficult times.
A message of hope built on the promise of a new civil rights law. But Kennedy himself would also fall victim to hate. And just months later, another horrific crime would place an Indiana town into civil rights history.
It was just the way she was killed, walking down the street.
And it's heartbreaking that somebody that had hatred for them would do that.
It was evil.
Carol Jenkins, a young black woman murdered in a former sundown town. Who did it and why?
There's secrets and lies.
Race is at the heart of it, and it's not just Martinsville.
A family awaits justice.
There are murders who have walked free for decades while the families of victims cried for justice.
What is the legacy left behind?
We can't change history. We need to learn from mistakes that were made.
Now, for the first time, witnesses bring light to a 50-year-old murder mystery beyond the headlines of the girl in the yellow scarf.
I'm Sandra Chapman. As an investigative reporter, my career has spanned more than 3 decades, and I've covered thousands of stories, but none has had more impact than the murder of Carol Jenkins and the quest for justice.
Carol was a remarkable person. People loved her.
And if anybody had ever met Carol, they would have known she was a good person.
She was fun. She was bashful, quiet, total opposite of me.
Carol Marie Jenkins was just 3 years old when her mother, Elizabeth Jenkins, married Paul Davis of Rushville. Davis was the only father Carol had known. She eventually became the big sister to 5 younger siblings. The Davis children spent their formative years in Rushville until Paul and Elizabeth divorced. Elizabeth later remarried and relocated to Indianapolis with her girls. Carol, who graduated with the Rushville class of '65, split time between both households. On the weekend of September 14, 1968, Paulette, the next oldest daughter and a 17-year-old senior in high school, met her big sister Carol in their hometown of Rushville for a celebration.
I had spent the whole weekend with her, and we had so much fun. And that night, she just hugged and kissed on Daddy and told him how much she loved him.
The following Monday, Carol was scheduled for sales training with Collier's Encyclopedia in Indianapolis. The 21-year-old had signed up for the adventure with none other than her 19-year-old best friend, Paula Bradley.
We worked at Philco Ford, which was in Connorsville, and they went on strike, and so we were trying to think of something else to do. We wanted to have a job, so there was an ad in the paper for Collier Encyclopedias, and they were having a training in Indianapolis.
So I'm in study hall, and I just get this weird sensation that came over me, and I left school. My mother was outside in the back. And I asked her, I said, did Carol stop here before she went to sell encyclopedias? And my mom said, no, why? And I looked at my mom and I said, I don't know. I'm worried about her.
We were supposed to go to Vincennes, and for whatever reason, we stopped in Martinsville. Oh my gosh, because we knew of the history of Martinsville. And I can distinctly remember Carol saying to me, she said, well, I'm glad I wore pants today because I might have to run.
Martinsville, Indiana, renowned in the early 1900s for its artesian mineral water, is now but a faded shadow of its once towering image as a city offering healing streams. The same city that welcomed white socialites to indulge in its health resorts was also a sundown town, with posted signs similar to these near the city limits and in store windows warning Negroes, "Don't let the sun set on you."
If you were caught in that town after dark and you happen to be black, you best find a way out quick.